And welcome back to Mr. Gregor's Math. Today we're taking a look at the chain rule. So we're going to look at a couple of examples, and we're going to look to make sure that we really understand what the chain rule means and what it implicates and how to use it. So again, it goes like this. If we're given a function f of x that has an outer portion, g of x, and an inner portion, k of x, then the derivative of f of x is the derivative of the outside with respect to the inside times the derivative of the inside. So that's a key idea. So I always think derivative outside times inside. And that might make a little bit more sense when we kind of see how the example goes. Now it's important to recognize when you're taking the derivative of the outside that the inner function is going to just stay alone inside that function. So here we'll take a look with an example, and it'll probably clear up kind of how that all works out. So I have an inner function. My inner function is x squared plus x plus 1. And I have an outer function. My outer function is this ln. So my outer function is ln of something. Now to find the derivative of g of x, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this rule. So I'll take the derivative of the outside. So I'm just ignoring the inner portion here and saying, what's the derivative of ln? So now the derivative of ln is 1 over x. I'm not going to write x because it's not with respect to x. It's with respect to the inside. So I'll write the entire inside portion in here. So the blue writing is just 1 over x. That's the derivative of ln. But it's not ln of x. It's ln of this other thing. So that other thing is going to go in there. Then I'm going to multiply this by the derivative of the inside. So that's just the derivative of this quadratic. So that'll be 2x plus 1. Now we could simplify this a little bit, and I think it makes good sense to simplify it. So I'd write this as 2x plus 1 over x squared plus x plus 1. And that's the derivative of g of x. So there's one example of how to figure out what your inside function is and how your inside function's derivative multiplies by your outer function's derivative with respect to the inside. That was perhaps a little bit too wordy. Regardless, the example is helpful for figuring this out. Now the nice part about the chain rule is you could have 2 links together, or you could have 3 or 4 links together. So you can have functions that have multiple layers of inside. You can imagine it like an everlasting gobstopper function. So we're going to do a function that has a couple of different layers. So this function is y equals sine squared 4x. Now you might think, okay, well, this is just a function with an inside. The inside is 4x. But actually, remember, sine squared really means this. So it's sine of 4x squared. So we actually have an outer function still. We have an outermost function, which is this squaring idea. So it's something squared. Then we have an inner function, which is the sine of something. And then we have an even further inner function, which is this 4x. So we're going to have to do the derivative of blue, the outside, then the derivative of red, the inner portion, then the derivative of green, the innermost portion. So here's what it'll look like for the derivative of blue. So I'm going to do dy dx. This is going to be equal to the derivative of the outside, so that's 2 times something, and to the power 1. Then I'm going to switch colors, and I'll do the derivative of the inner portion. So this is sine of something. The derivative of sine is cosine of something. And then I'm going to switch colors again, and I'll do the derivative of the innermost portion here. And that was 4x, so it's just multiplied by 4. Now, this sine term was a function of 4x. So I'm going to keep 4x inside of there. And this blue squaring term was a function of the sine of 4x. So I'm going to keep the sine of 4x in there. And this is my overall derivative. Now, fun little trig example here, because this is going to actually simplify quite nicely. I can multiply my product because this 1 doesn't matter. So 2 times 4 is 8. And I'll have 8 times sine of 4x times the cosine of 4x. Now, this is exactly equivalent to 4 sine 8x. And if you remember, this is one of our double angle identities. So if you're looking for a cool review of some of your trig properties, you may want to go and take a look at that one. So these are a couple of examples of using the chain rule and how it applies to higher order chains. So chains that have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 levels. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and tune in next time when we talk about the product or quotient rule.